reading the newspaper, and I looked up and I saw the date, and I went, because April 7th was the 50th anniversary of the thing that to this day was the most traumatic thing that ever happened to me in my life. My girlfriend of 1 year and 3 months dumped me on April 7th, 1973. And this was so prevalent in my mind, in my life for so long that I used to write a journal like on April 7th and January 7th, because that was our first date. And then I added the other 2 7ths, so I had 4 times a year, but that was really the provenance of it. And for many years, this was just so, if it wasn't after 5 or 6 years, I'm sure it ebbed as something that was emotionally there, but I still was writing the journal on those days, and I would never forget. This was and when 50 came along, it's like, oh my God, I wouldn't have even thought of it, except I saw it in the paper.
Yeah.
And just the idea that I could come from this place where this thing was like my 9/11 to where I don't even remember that it's a big anniversary. It just shows that, yeah.
I'll say this about that, because it's actually very funny, first of all.
Pathetic, you mean?
No, I think funny. I think it's funny. I think that is a supremely human thing.
Yeah.
And I think everybody has a version of that, whatever that is. It might not be as bold-faced as a date,
right?
But everyone has a moment that they, especially from that time of their lives. I read a book, forget who wrote it, about the human brain. And it talks about how when you're young, up until about your mid-20s, your brain paths, your neuropaths and your synapses or whatever are significantly wider. It's the 405.
Right.
And so all the stuff that comes barreling down there hits you like a ton of bricks. Emotions and love and comedy and drama and sadness. All of it is so much more elevated when you're that, because literally it's a physical thing.
Not to interrupt, I'll let you get back to this in 1 second, but that thing about narrow and wide pathways is true of all the things in the body. It's why people have urinary problems. It's why people have heart problems.
Yes.
You want to keep the passageways free. So I've never heard this aspect of it, which is fascinating.
Well,
so you're saying because the ones in the brain are also wider.
Yes, and part of it is that your brain's still developing, and you're still developing the little side streets that are like nuance and other things and other interests and whatever.
And now we look like the overpass. Van Nuys.
A map of Tokyo.
We're like Woodstock '99 down there now.
God. But yeah, like you're still developing those side streets and things. So it's all going down the 405.
Right.
And so, what are you thinking about when you're 14, 17, 19?
Right.
Sports, pussy.
Pussy.
Pussy and pussy.
Yes.
And,
it's
food.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, it's nuts, but it's true. And it cuts across all sexes and genders and affiliations and what have you. And it is what it is. Like, we are, as you say, at the end of the day, the one thing that binds us all is this physiology is the same. We are, for the most part, the same. And I think if we all got back to that, and if we could figure out that, it doesn't matter, I've been reading about this, like, stuff in the Ukraine and how all of the war is happening. You're just like, guys, at the end of the day, everyone just wants to go home, make sure their kids are safe, eat, and go sleep and go to work. Everyone wants to have a job. And the job right now in Ukraine is making sure the Russians don't come in.
Not to be
the job in the Russians is like,
not to be glib about it or compare these as the same level problems at all, but just on a psychological level, the Ukraine war is exactly the writer's strike, what we were just talking about. It's like you're going to make a settlement, right? At some point. It's not going to go on forever. Why can't we do it tomorrow instead of all this pain? And humans are not yet able to fucking accomplish that one. Maybe AI can help. Maybe we'll have trust in AI that it'll just tell us the right fucking answer and we'll all agree. But as of now, that can't happen because AI is programmed by humans. And that's why, have you seen this? It's so funny. AI just makes shit up.
Yeah.
Like out of
Humans do.
Like humans do. But like out of whole cloth.
Yeah, no, if somebody said they did a whole thing like describe me, and the guy was like, and he founded the institute for whatever, like, wow, I'm amazing.
No, exactly. It just is, it's a bullshitter.
Then it really is human.
But this thing about the passage.
Hey, thanks for watching the clip. Hit the subscribe button now so you never miss out on our Club Random content that's posted daily.